welcome
to come. What's up, guys? I'm Jackson.
I'm Doss, and today we're going to be talking about chapter 1144 of One Piece, A Time for Warriors.
Start off, we're going to talk about this cover story.
So what we've got Yamato's Golden Harvest Surrogate Pilgrimage, Volume 28. All right, last week we had
last week, the week before.
Week before, because we got the color spread on the last chapter. So we saw Yamato totally just solo who's who with the Thunder Bagua.
Oh yeah, bro.
It's crazy. It's crazy. This week we're kind of seeing the conclusion to that. All right, we're seeing Yamato greeting the girls after defeating who's who. Everyone's crying. What do we think is going to happen with the next cover story?
So maybe page 1 and Ulti, as we saw before. I'll put it up on screen, the one where we see him in this cover story, but maybe they've got something to share with us. So that's what I'm thinking this is headed.
I think we're going to see a reveal of Ulti and page 1 turning good. I think that's ultimately... Ulti is a fan favorite character. She always has been. I think her getting redeemed with her brother would be big ups for One Piece and make a lot of people happy. So that's where I think we're gonna see this next cover story go.
I agree. We're not getting one next week though, because at the end of the chapter it actually says
facts.
We're getting a color spread because the anime is coming back.
That's facts. That's facts.
We're gonna see that.
So on to the show.
Okay, so first we want to talk about in this chapter, we want to talk about the very beginning. Right off the bat, we see this kind of like tree factory science lab with weird fungus that kind of looks like...
When you first pulled that up and I saw it with Frankie's face, bro. Yeah, I thought we were getting the tree. I thought we were getting the mural.
The mural, but we're not getting the mural.
Still, big unanswered questions here.
It makes me wonder if Ripley even explained any of it to Frankie, because we definitely got to skip from here.
Yeah, right? 100%. I mean, they're went on a whole journey. But let's focus on the actual tree itself. The tree building, we should say. Really looks like the Atom tree has grown around it, this building, or is it carved out? I mean, put in the comments below what you think. But
yeah, and also it's got like weird like fungus on it. We were having a debate earlier. Is it human sized? Is it giant sized?
Yeah, let's discuss that, because we have two things that are going on here. If this is human sized, this means that giants did not inhabit Elbaf. Giants weren't native to Elbaf.
Well, I don't know about that.
Well, you could also have a coexistence kind of thing going on there. You could have that sort of, but if this is human-sized, then we have this, which it kind of seems like it is, because if you look in the next panel with Lilith and Bonnie, we do see them just looking over the edge. I think we are seeing, it kind of looks like the building is changing its environment with what I want to objectively call the truffula trees that are popping up, those fungus spawn. So this is something that clearly, even though it seems like, it's grown around it and it's built into the environment, the building is modifying the Atom tree. Oh, yeah. It's modified,
and it definitely has to do with the Void Century. We all know that.
Oh yeah, because I mean, we go down.
Says that it's 3,000 years. We know that the technology that they had back in the Void Century is definitely better than the technology we have now here in One Piece. And so I think it definitely has to do with that. I think maybe there was some pretty crazy scientists maybe on Elbaf that were humans, or maybe they were giants.
Giant scientists.
Or maybe the giants. Maybe the humans became giants. You ever think about that one?
Scopper Gaban. That's why his little swimmer would work. We immediately get interrupted by, what were they called again? The Sleep Dids? Sleep Dids in the official translation. That's kind of what we're looking at there. Immediately interrupted by them.
Yep, Thunder, which looks like Zeus.
I will say, I thought it was Zeus.
I thought it was Zeus as well.
Yeah, I thought it was Zeus.
But it is Thunder. What one of the kids finds the most scary. And then we cut away.
We just start getting all of these different ones. We got Draugr. Skyrim reference?
Draugr is crazy too because he immediately gets bodied.
But we're getting there.
Immediately gets bodied by the giants, which actually kind of just shows like how strong the giants are.
We got Colin and we got Jaw Rule. All right. Colin wants to hop in the action. Understandably, I mean, his father is Scopper Gaban. So we're seeing Colin, and he's one of, like, we got to remember, Colin is one of the last warrior children before the pacifist sort of revolution that happened there. So we're seeing, of course, Colin's gonna want to jump in. Like, of course he does.
Mm-hmm. He also claims that I'm Gaban's son, bro. I should be in there, bro. You know what I mean? Which I think is actually kind of a weird thing to say because technically it's like not cool.
Yeah.
To like breed outside.
Yeah. That's
so
facts.
I think maybe I don't know. So, but I thought it was interesting that he mentioned that.
So do the Giants?
And that the Giants no. Well, actually, here too, he gets shoved by this giant.
He does. But is it more because he's a kid or because he's Scopper Gaban's son? Because it seems like the relationship between Scopper Gaban and the Giants is a pretty positive one.
Have like Scopper like with them, which I think is kind of different. It's interesting that they don't really mind with the offspring thing when it comes to Scopper, but when it comes to King Harold, and then when it comes to the other people that
interbreed,
that they get all upset,
ostracized. So Ja Rule recognizes that there's a red hair look-alike, but he immediately, just like Luffy did, was saying looked just like red hair. He's not like red hair's on the island, and clearly there's a distinction there, but they're automatically not being like, oh, red hair's here. Shanks is not here. Colin's getting the huzz.
Colin's getting the huzz with
Colin's getting the huzz with Nami.
Colin's getting the huzz, and we'll put it on screen.
Yeah, we'll put it on screen right there.
Nami, Usopp, and Brook.
Yep, Nami, Usopp, and Brook.
Jinbei.
And Jinbei. Most typical Straw Hat thing in the world. Of course, they're gonna pick a little kid to take him under their wing.
Just like Otama and
we
Wano.
knew. Yep, we knew it was gonna happen.
In Egghead.
Bonnie
we always got
kids. Crazy, bro.
We always got kids.
Bonnie and Egghead's crazy.
It'll be every time.
I'm gonna talk about Gunko at the end of the video because I have Jack doesn't necessarily subscribe to it, but I got a theory that's kind of building off some other theories.
And moving on to my favorite part of the chapter, honestly, is with Saul and Robin and Chopper and stuff with the kids. We can see Saul here is got a big love for these kids. He's trying to save them, and he's saving them in a way that I thought was pretty smart. Apparently, Dawson caught right away that it was not.
I just think that the arrow's pointing one way. I don't know why you wouldn't think, unstoppable force meets an unmovable object. I don't even know if that's the right way. Of course, they're just going to run into one another.
Right.
That's just my thinking, but
I didn't even notice that it was arrow, but it is Gunko's arrow.
Yeah, Gunko's arrow's dragging him along. Yeah.
So they're using all the powers on it, and obviously the kids, the kids get caught up against each other and they prick each other because the kids love each other, right? So this actually makes me pretty interested because we see a lot of Saul. Saul is trying to save these kids with this ability that St. Summers has with the thorns. And I was mentioning earlier, I was thinking about what happens if St. Summers gets his thorns on one of the Straw Hats, more specifically Robin. What if it gets on Robin? And then Saul goes to save her and he doesn't know. And the love that Saul it has for Robin is probably way more than these kids, bro. And so the thorns kill Saul again.
We're gonna see Saul knocked out.
Saul dies again because of
Robin.
With the thorns. Or any of the strats too happening with the thorns. I definitely think that's interesting.
Oh, I think we should also talk about if any of the Straw Hats are touched with the thorns. We got to think about what Oda said in the SBS the other day because, St. Summers can be like, oh, I've got him, I've got him. But Zoro, as confirmed in the SPS, if Luffy told Zoro to kill any of the Straw Hats,
they do it.
Do it like that.
Which means that if it wasn't a Straw Hat, Zoro would be, we were assuming it might be the best bet.
Yeah.
On, helping them out because maybe Zoro, the only guy he really loves.
Yeah. Exactly. I mean, for that to be dropped in the SBS and
what if it was on Sanji, the thorn they put on Sanji, and then
it would heal Sanji. It would legit just heal Sanji. I don't see what else would happen. Okay.
And Zoro just runs up and grabs Sanji, starts running away, and St. Summers it's the NL face. The NL.
Yep.
How are you? How are you saving him? And it's because. And then Zoro's
I hate this guy, man. That's why. I hate this guy. No, yeah, I that's honestly what I'm hoping. That's my headcanon until we see the next chapter.
I hope that happens, bro. That's on my card. That's on my bingo card. Elbath bingo card.
But we see a solution with them taking them back one by one. Saul finally gets stopped, but the wolf.
Fenrir.
Fenrir.
Back to the skeleton that we saw earlier. What was it called again? I forgot.
The Draugr.
The Draugr. From Skyrim.
From Skyrim.
It gets immediately bodied off screen.
Sorry.
It gets immediately bodied off screen by the giants. And then a Nidhogger.
I had to look it up. It's actually Nidhogger.
Which is the dragon.
Nidhogger.
I'll put it on screen. It's a dragon.
I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right. It is a dragon. It's a dragon-like serpent from Norse mythology. But what do we see next?
They get bodied immediately.
Bodied immediately by none other than Dorian Bragi. Doing
the goats.
Hakaku sovereignty once again. Yeah. Wonderful to see it back. Wonderful to see it
back. They body them immediately, which shows that these... I don't think these nightmares are as powerful as we thought originally.
No.
When they showed them 2 chapters ago, it was like...
And I think we also have to take into context. Dorian Bragi are pirates. They've been fighting for so long. We are also seeing all these other giants failing because they have not grown up or they are out of training.
Peaceful.
They are peaceful. They're peaceful. But now we're seeing what actual war-like giants can do.
And then finally, at the very end, we get the best part. Well, not the best part, but one of the most interesting parts of the chapter is that Scopper is here. He's here. He's on the ship with Dorian Bragi.
I thought that they were saving Scopper for the very ending. Oda kind of made it feel like that whenever Luffy doesn't defeat him by any means, but whenever there was the end of Luffy and his fight, where he says, "Okay, meet me whenever your adventures are done," or something along those lines. So I was like, okay, they're saving Scopper for the very end.
But he's here, which means that it kind of reminds me of Egghead Island. When the CP0 showed up, CP0 showed up, and they had Rob Lucci and stuff show up against the Straw Hats. But when I read it, I didn't really think that was like, okay, whatever, it's Rob Lucci. Yeah. It's Gear 5 Luffy, so who really cares? And that's kind of the same feeling I'm having now about all the God Knights, really, because there's only one villain that we haven't seen use his powers yet that is here on Elbath, and that is Shamrock.
Shamrock Shake
himself. So now we're going to wrap it up with our predictions for the next chapter. I think for me, I definitely think what might happen next is I think we're going to go back, and I hope we go back to Frankie and Lilith and Ripley back on that weird tree thing. I really hope we do, and I think we might.
I think that we are really going to see, and what I'm really hoping is that we hear more about Loki and Harridan's backstory. Why, I don't think we're going to get the full thing, but I think we're going to get a conversation there. I don't think we're going to go full flashback, but I hope
we could get a conversation.
I hope we get a conversation there.
We could get some more.
That's what I'm hoping for. Before we go, and before we do our final rating, I want to touch on something that kind of just been sitting right here with me the past few chapters. I don't know if Gunko is 100% bad. That's just my theory. I think that we are seeing a lot of differences between her and the other God Knights. We're seeing a lot of separate but in the same unit. We see it in this chapter with her saying, hey, like this, I have to have my hobby, I have to listen to my music. There's a panel, it's last chapter, I think, of her eating, and Oda painted her completely different than the other God Knights in that panel. It's what my interpretation was. Huh? So
she didn't really talk.
And what is her number one fear? The Sun God. Why does she fear the Sun God? We still have yet to figure that out. If Luffy pulls up as Nika and it is her number one fear, what is that going to do to her? And what is that going to do to her relationship with the God Knights if she falters?
Overall, we're going to give this chapter a 6.5 weird fungus balls
on the tree.
Out of 10.
for the last bit of this episode of Conversation Hockey, we want to give our shout out to Chastity Hope 04. She said, "This sucks."
Yeah. To one of our old videos. I don't know how she got in contact with this video. This is the first video on our channel, so she must be a time traveler. As you can see, the timestamp on this comment is 2 years ago. A little strange.
How'd she do it?
How'd she do it? We will never know. But just so you know, Chastity Hope 04, you fuel our fire. Comments like yours make us want to make more.
I'm rageful.
So if you want to be featured in the next video of Conversation Hockey, make sure you leave a comment down below, anything you want. And if we like it, we'll include it in our next video.
Or if it fuels the fire.
Or if it feels the fire.
Thank you guys so much for watching Conversation Hockey. We'll see you in the next video.
Peace.
Rock on.
I'm keeping that whole head part in, bro.